Francis Ngannou visited the Joe Rogan podcast and shared that he experienced extra fatigue both before and during his fight with Anthony Joshua. He mentioned an interesting fact that he was intentionally invited to the arena 3-4 hours before the fight.
We get to the arena 10:45. There's a producer coming to the locker room, say, "Oh, guy, we are running late on the broadcast. Now we're gonna go around 1:45 each." I'm like, okay, 1:45 is 10:45, 3 hours. Okay, you know.
So what do you do? Do you eat? Do you sleep? What do you do when you know you have 3 more hours?
You don't know, you just stay there, and then you have like a drug test guy around waiting for you to pee.
How far before the fight do you eat?
Usually maybe like 4-5 hours. Yeah, like maybe 5 to 6 hours, and then you get some snacks in between, you know. And then yeah, it was around 1:30 that Anthony Joshua arrived. I saw on screen, I'm like, so we're supposed to fight at 1:45. He's arriving at 1:30. What does that mean? It's going to,
So they're playing games.
until we fight at 3:30. We leave
Oh,
the
wow.
locker room at 3:30. I have been in Saudi for almost 2 months, training to fight between midnight and 1. That was my training time. By 2, 3, I'm
So they wanted to keep you anxious, drag it on, psychologically put it in your head. You don't know when you're going to fight.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But even at that time, I didn't know what was happening.
Right.
It was after everything that I'm like, what's going on? Because I get to the point that I was so tired. I was in the locker room, eating meat, then sit down, feeling asleep. Then I tell Eric Nixick, like, bro, something wrong. I'm asleep. I feel like I want to sleep. Like, I'm sweating. But we just keep doing. So that's fight. I mean, not to say Anthony Joshua couldn't win me. You know, I think if there's somebody that you can lose against him, he's the guy. You know, and he's one of the best of doing it. You know, and this is definitely not on him, because he wasn't the guy that was sending all those emails, was organizing. So I'm not blaming about anything, but the organization, bro, nah, they did quite some stuff that wasn't fair. Which on the Tyson fight was perfect. Everything was perfect because I wasn't a threat. Nobody cares about me. Everything was organized. We get there in the locker room, I think was 2 hours before the fight properly. Yeah. So then I'm like,
Well, Anthony Joshua is a veteran. You know, he's been in the boxing game for a long time, and he knows all the different tricks. They also obviously very much prepared for your style. They saw you fight Tyson Fury, so they had tape on you. As Tyson Fury did not have boxing tape. He didn't have any footage to study. But Anthony Joshua did, and it was very clear that he knew you had certain tendencies, and there were certain things that you did with the Tyson Fury fight that he exploited in his fight.
Maybe. And then I think he's capable to figure out everybody. I think he's capable to win everybody. But in this case, I feel like in some ways they stand on my way a little bit.
They stood in your way.
Yeah.
So they played some games.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted to get the most advantage possible, you know, that's smart. If you're their coach, their manager, that's what I would do too.
But it wasn't their coach that was organizing the fight.
So you think it's the organization itself, that they set everything up in his favor?
The organization. I mean, yes, his team was part of organization because it was Queensberry and Mushroom. No,
But it felt like something was wrong.
It wasn't me, yeah.
So did it feel like something was wrong, like just plain fatigue, or did it feel like something was wrong, like maybe you were poisoned, or maybe you were drugged?
Plain fatigue.
Fatigue.
Yeah.
So just fatigue.
Yeah, on the fatigue aspect.
Yeah. Well, this is also an aspect of experience, right? Because this is only your second professional boxing fight, and there's things that people do. Like they do very intelligent things to, like Gervonta Davis when he fought Ryan Garcia, he made him dehydrate, get down to a low weight, and then there was a clause in the contract where he couldn't gain more than 10 pounds before the fight itself. So he went into the fight dehydrated. Smart for a guy like Gervonta, who's a huge puncher, So there's things that like experienced professionals that have been in the game a long time will get a fighter to agree to that's not in their best interest. And then there's things that they can do to you, like make you wait all day and make you wait around, which will fatigue you. So did you think like at all about having fights with maybe some guys that were below that level to get more experience? Like after the Tyson Fury fight, maybe fighting a guy who's like ranked 15th or 16th,
I never thought about that,
You just went for the money. And the money in the big fight. The big fight is obviously...
Yes, won the big fight. So like, for example, after the Tyson Fury fight, if I go for another guy, top 15, like, what's the goal here? I mean, again, I'm not 20 years old. I'm not 25. That I have a plan to grow up the ranking,
right,
and get to the championship. I want
just get that money.
Yeah, get the money and get
the big fights.
The big fight out of the big fight. So that was the goal.
Yeah, well, you achieved that goal.
Justin Gaethje on the Anik and Florian podcast discussed Max Holloway's back kick at the end of the first round and how it impacted the later rounds of their fight.
Because I did get a chance to talk to you after your last fight against Max, and it seems like that back kick at the end of that first round may have changed things a lot for you. Is that the way you see it? Was that a game changer when he caught you with that back kick at the end of round one?
No, I don't. I mean, especially in the moment, in hindsight, I could say, yeah, like maybe, I don't know, maybe possibly.
Yeah.
Even now, I wouldn't even know for sure. Well, honestly, it didn't take away my ability to cause damage, to be, to knock him out, to win the next 4 rounds. It didn't take that away from me. So I don't think it was it was a great kick. It hurt right away, but the adrenaline is crazy. My nose was bleeding, but I didn't feel exhausted in there, which I would assume would be the only repercussion to breaking your nose and not being able to use it as a breathing source. Thank God I got used to that for 13 years, knowing how to, breathe and compete without a nose. And so, yeah, that was just, you get hit, you move on. I got 4 more rounds. It was just really, really good that night. I think my game plan wasn't necessarily the correct game plan, but that's only something you can know after the fact. And I think he fought an amazing fight, and he was very precise and perfect that night. And that was a very, very tough Max Holloway to beat.
What do you think you would have changed on fight night?
So I think I would have pressured more. I would have tried to move forward and fight at not. And then when he did come, it was, few and far between, where it was so, unpredictable and fast that I didn't see it or find it. And if I would have been inside and like I did in the 4th round, similar to the 4th round, the only round that I for sure think I won. I moved forward. I was trying to step on his feet. And yeah, I think that was the way that I had to fight that fight.
Israel Adesanya showed in Instagram his relentless training. Caption, "Me versus me." That's it for today. Many thanks. Much love. Please write me in comments, give a like, and of course, subscribe to see more.